Hello, GSF Universe. This is Alfred Joaquin for Get Sports Focus. We are hanging out with Coach AJ Rangel from Pro Sport Training.
Yes,
Just
sir.
a heads up, there's going to be some noise in the background. You already hear the music. We're at a restaurant here at BJ's off Coleman. Shout out to them for the free food.
Thank you, guys. Delicious.
It's actually not free, so you're still paying. But we also got the plane issue, so you'll hear it once in a while. But we're here to talk about something very important. First of all, Coach, talk a little bit about your background, just so people will know.
Yeah, I'm a Bay Area guy. Grew up in San Jose, also Oakland. Played high school football around here back in the day. Andrew High School. I don't know if you heard of us. That's where I finished around here.
The Hill.
But yeah, also played a little bit of JC ball. Played at Sac State. You know, tried to bounce around and make it in the league, like every young kid's dream. You know, has made it about as far as a couple tryouts and some training camp, but that's about it. You know, like a lot of people, had to swallow that hard to swallow pill that I just wasn't quite gonna be a pro. But you know, I always loved the game. And that has never stopped. If anything, that passion just grew stronger and stronger in me. And, you know, I turned it into more than just a passion. I turned it into something that I wanted to do. And about, back, I'm dating myself here, but back in about like 99, 2000, I first started training individuals. And then, because my brother was in high school, and then, you know, I went and got certifications and more started getting degrees in the field and really started upping my knowledge. And it just grew into something bigger and bigger. And yeah, now I've been, you know, 17 years in the game and I'm not going anywhere. I love me, myself, and my crew now to help young athletes not just have the proper training, but just the proper guidance and to help them hopefully, you know, achieve their dream of playing the sport they love beyond high school, and also making them realize that, you know, anything beyond that is really just gravy, just, you know, hitting the lottery. But the main thing is we just want to help these young men grow up, get an education, and hopefully play the game that they love a little bit more. And, you know, it is growing more than that. It's not even just football anymore. It's all athletes and all sports. It's just helping young people, I should say, try to achieve their goals, their dreams and goals.
I've been to your gym a few times, you know, shooting the footage that you guys, I mean, I know a lot of people, it gets a lot of views on our social media. And
That's cool.
I've seen guys like, I started doing this, like 2 years ago or last year? It's more than a year.
Yeah, more than a year.
But I've seen progression. It's like literally like witnessed kids from the beginning, and then now that I see them, I was like, holy crap, these guys are putting on weight. They look great. They look fast. They look, you know, they look like football players. They look like players. Like the training really does work. And
oh, absolutely. I mean, if it didn't, you know, if we didn't believe in what we were doing, I wouldn't be doing this. I mean, that's why I started in the first place. And yeah, I mean, I can't speak for any other place out there, but you know, at Pro Sport, this is real deal training and preparation. This is not babysitting, but we also know that it's not going to be for everybody. I mean, if you don't like to work hard to improve yourself and get to those goals, and you know, Pro Sport might not be for you. But I'll also tell you, if that's going to be your mentality, then the next level is not going to be for you either, because as you go up, it only gets harder and harder, man. It does not get easier, and there's no substitute for hard work, and there's going to be no way around that upper level competition as you try to go up. So that's what we push hard, and it's like I said, elite professional level training. Everyone's, you know, been at the highest level in our organization, and we strive for the best. Our goal is to every single day of training, whether it be physical or mental, to be better than we were the day before.
And I've seen that firsthand.
Yeah.
Now, what's the process like? I have a few questions here, but what's the process like for an athlete to get involved with Pro Sport Training?
Give us a call. Give us a call, you know, we'll sit down, we'll talk with you and your parents, and we'll see, you know, what your goals are and what you want to do, and if the program is a fit for you, and if something that you can fit into your life. Because I mean, obviously, yeah, it's not free. I mean, this is a job for us, you know, we have expenses like anybody else, so it's not a free service. But with that being said, it's not a money grab. I mean, we go through our own, I guess you could say, evaluation process of a kid. And I'm not talking like talent level or anything. I'm talking like commitment level. Is this going to work for you? Is this going to be something you can do? Because what we don't want is someone to sign up, just give us a fat check, and then just disappear. You know,
Yeah.
We don't want that. You know, people say, "Oh, that's easy money, man." That's not why we do this, and that's not what I want. I don't want anyone. You know, I'm 100% into this, man. My reputation to me, this is everything. And the last thing I want is for you to have a bad experience or to not gain some kind of improvement out of it, or for your family to waste their money. That's not what we want. We want you to come because this group, regardless of the talent level, they're all driven kids, you know, and aside from us pushing them, you know, you all make each other better. And if you're not here, you're not contributing to that for anyone else or for yourself. You know, you basically just wasted everybody's time. And we're not here to waste our time, your time, parents' time, anyone's time.
What I really like about the environment that you have at Pro Sport is that it feels like an actual team. I mean, it is a team. But you know, I've covered a lot of schools, hung out with a lot of teams, and it's the same feeling that I feel like when I'm out there getting footage of your guys training, and I know that's one of the things that you try to preach is like, you know, we're a family here. I hear you guys doing breaks at the end of the sessions.
Absolutely, and that's real. You know, there's a term we use that I think gets overused, which is family, and we really are. I mean, we put in so much work together. I mean, some of these guys are with us more than they see their own parents or their own, you know, classmates or whatever. And, you know, like I always tell guys, man, there's a lot of types of family in this world. You got your blood family, you've got your school family, and once you join pro sport, you really do have your pro sport family. Because you'll see guys from opposite schools, from rival schools, guys that maybe never even knew each other before, that, you know, a linebacker from one school going against the running back from another school, and all of a sudden now they're training side by side in there. It's kind of like that friendly rivalry. They're pushing each other, but they also kind of become boys, and you know, by next season, now they're homies. but they can't wait to go at it on the basketball court against each other, or the football field, or whatever, you know, the softball diamond, and it's pretty cool. You know, it's really cool to see that, those bonds grow and that family grow.
Yeah, I like to see a Santa Teresa kid working out with an Oak Grove kid, and they're all like pushing each other and motivating each other, and you know, it's right there. And I think for any athlete who's thinking of seriously playing at the next level, they really should contact you and just visit during one of those workouts and see for themselves. Now, another thing that I wanted to ask you is, you've been doing this for a while. How many years?
18. This is my 18th year.
Is your 18th year? So you've
I can't even believe it myself.
You've seen a lot, and I don't know if you guys see the videos and the pictures that we post on our social media. Pro Sport Training, they have this wall where Coach AJ's got all these jerseys.
The Wall of Fame. The
Wall of Fame, and it's a pretty cool thing to see, because you know, some of those last names on the back of those jerseys are you know, kind of like household names here in the Bay Area, especially in the South Bay. So can you just talk about some of the guys that you've been in contact with and have trained with?
I'll say this, you know, to get on the Wall of Fame means you had to have been a student, a real student here, someone that was, you know, developed, that did, you know, some good amount of training here, a couple years, you know, when you were young in high school, and really improved while you were here, and then you played beyond high school. That's how you get up on the Wall of Fame. Now, right now, just due to lack of room and, you know, just the only ones we were able to get, there's only about 50 up on there. But over the years, we're almost actually at about 200 of guys that have actually, you know, gone through this program, and whether, you know, be D1 or whatever, D2, 1AA, gotten scholarships to go on and play either football or another sport beyond high school. So, I mean, if we had every single guy up there, I mean, there wouldn't even be room anymore.
So you're one of the originals, I would say, and especially in this area.
I think so, because when I started this, there was no one doing it. There was no blueprint. This is something that, like, I literally, in my head, I came up with. I didn't see another program and say, oh, I want to be like that. It was something that, in my own mind, of my years of maybe not quite making it, because I'll tell you, I didn't have that guidance. I was just a kid who had desire and balls. Excuse my language there, but just like the gung-ho-ness to go after it, but sometimes doing it wrong because I didn't have that guidance, and then later in life, obviously coming up short, but thinking to myself like, wow, man, it'd be really cool to have a program out there that helps these kids. So maybe a kid who might come up a little short doesn't come up short, just to help young guys. Because like I said, I had a passion for this. And so that's when it started. And yeah, there's been some huge names over the years. I mean, obviously, the big one everyone knows is Kiko Alonso. I mean, some of these guys I've known. Yeah, Kiko's
LG,
was always
baby.
a beast, you know? Guys like Steve Sloan, who went on and started Midi, went on to UCLA. You know, Anthony Miller, Midi, went on to Cal, and then, you know, in the NFL, the Broncos, and bounced around. Hell, now he's one of our coaches. The Olabode brothers, I mean, from Bellarmine, everyone knows them. The list just goes on and on. I mean, guys that maybe not necessarily household names, but have also had like a ton of success. Like Pablo Garcia came out of Midi, went to San Jose State, didn't quite make the league, but you know he's still balling in arena ball. You know, here almost going on 7-8 years, maybe, I don't know, somewhere close to a decade. But yeah, there's been a lot of success.
Airplane, and we're clear.
I mean, so many. I mean, right now, sitting down eating lunch, honestly, I can't even remember all the studs that have come through, but it's been great, you know, because again, they go way back. But going back to how you said this was family, what's awesome about it is since this is not just, you know, a thing where you show up once a week or once every couple weeks, we have developed that bond. And there's been some people over the years, I mean, maybe not every single one, but some of them where we have developed a strong bond. And there's guys that I had as my students 10, 15 years ago that I still know them, that are way done with playing, and I'm like, I'm going to like their weddings and stuff. I'm seeing their kids be born in, like for instance, one relationship, kid named Mark Boscovich, who was a St. Francis player back in 2005.
Name sounds familiar.
Went on to Cal, was a lineman, great kid. Had the potential to go pro, but decided to go into law instead. You know, his family and I became really close over the years, and his father, P. Boscovich, great attorney here in the area, he actually became a good buddy of mine, and he's now the godfather of my own son, you know, AJ Jr., who some of y'all have seen his clips online and whatnot.
Little Megatron.
Little Megatron. So yeah, I mean, we built some great relationships doing this, and stuff that to me is even more important than just the training. It's not just a train to me, it's deeper than that. You know, this, like I said, this is family, and it's helping young people hopefully have the best future they can possibly have, and hopefully being able to have a small part in helping them with that.
And you talk about deep relationship. I mean, you also coach youth football, right?
Yes, I do. I'm the head coach of Almaden Mustangs. We were the Mighty division last year, and we'll be moving up and hopefully be there a long time.
And then these kids, I've seen your team play, and they look like future stars. I mean, they're gonna be future stars.
Well, I'll tell you, at least my opinion, why. The same professionalism, hard work, dedication, not accepting anything less than your best that we use.
Airplane. We're gonna get to a different location next time for this.
That we use, preach, and expect at pro sport is how we did it on my team at Almaden, and it's probably because I used the same exact staff. It was myself and my pro sport staff coaching my Almaden and my son's Pop Warner team, and yeah, there was many times when I would say we were out-athleted, out-talented, but yet we were able to win. We went undefeated, and heck, most people we even smashed them by just, you know, out performing, out executing. And more often than not, when we'd have, you know, coaches from opposite teams, even parents coming up to us giving us props, saying like, wow, you guys, that was a really well executing, well coached team. And yeah, it was, you know, we were proud to hear that because we put a lot into it as well. We weren't out there just, you know, wasting our time and doing whatever. We took it serious, and we got good results because of it.
And
we won the state championship.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I went to a few games, and I saw firsthand how you guys operate with the little kids, and it's very, very consistent with how you operate with the high school kids that train with you. And you also have a 7-on-7 team. I know.
Yeah, we do a little 7-on-7.
You're one of the originals too for that one.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, dude, I've been in 7-on-7 since the beginning. Since the beginning, when nobody even honestly knew what it was. When
Yeah.
people were like 7-on-7, like what the heck is that? I remember.
What do you think about 7-on-7? Or, I mean, I know
I'll get to that in a second, but like I remember, like everyone probably knows about Pylon by now. Like I was down with those guys before they were in Pylon. A lot of people don't even know that they used to be called New Level back in the day. And I'm talking like back in 07. And another guy from Rivals, Brandon Huffman, he called me because, you know, I've known him a long time. And he was like, hey, man, there's this new thing called 7-on-7. We're going to be putting on something in Vegas. And we need you to bring some guys. And so that very first time, I mean, we took, you know, Michael Clay, like Austin Carter Samuels out there. And we had all these, it wasn't even that big. There was only like, you know, now Pylon's like, what, 200 teams? It was something like 10, 8 teams.
It's like a weekend event now.
Yeah, it was like 10, 8 teams. And we went out there and as an underdog, smashed everybody and won the thing. And then ever since then, I was like, the very next year, I was like, let me think about this. And instead of being put on regional teams, once you got there, I told them like, hey, I can bring my own team. And now I'm not saying I'm the inventor of club 7-on-7, but I was doing it since the very, very beginning. And then, it's grown so much. It's not my focus.
And it's gotten out of hand.
I'm not going to say it's gotten out of hand. It's just huge.
No.
So, going back to your question, what do I think about it? It's cool. It's a good tool. I don't think it's the end-all, be-all of publicity and exposure and whatnot that I don't want to say kids and parents think it is now, but it is, you know, kind of turning to that. And what I mean by that is I think there's some kids that are misguided or misled into thinking like, you know, 7-on-7 is how they're going to get a scholarship. And I'm like, no, man, you know, football and being the best, you know, biggest, strongest, fastest athlete that you can possibly be is what's going to get you a scholarship if you're that level of a guy. Perfect example. A kid I was talking to.
Just repeat that part. Football is.
So what I was saying was, you know, 7-on-7 by itself is not what's going to get you a scholarship at all. It's just a good little tool. I think it's a good tool. Absolutely, it's a great tool.
Yeah.
It's great to go out there and compete against, you know, different guys than you possibly can and test your skills and sharpen your skills and other things you've been working on. But being an actual good football player in real football, and then being, you know, working on your physical ability, your strength, your speed, all that, being the best you could possibly get, that is going to be what gets you a ride if you're of that level and better than whoever else other competition is out there. Now, I'll give you an example of that. A kid who I was recently talking to, I'm not going to ever say no names, I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but he was like, yeah, I think I need to be on such and such team, 7-on-7 team, because, you know, a lot of their guys get rides. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Let's step back and look at the big picture, look at reality. Yes, they have guys, but that's because they're getting guys who are already D1 guys. That guy that, you know, particularly receiver that you compared yourself against, he didn't get a ride because he played for such and such or just because he played 7-on-7 in general. He got a ride because he's 6'4", runs a 4.4, and can ball in real football.
Yeah.
You know, that's why he got a ride.
I do think that's one of the biggest things
and
right now.
And then he just happens to be playing on a team, you know, some national level 7-on-7 team who has a bunch of guys like him, but those guys would all have those rides regardless. So I think some kids are losing focus of that, and then they're going to find out a little too late that maybe their focus was on the wrong thing. You know, they should have been making themselves the best player that they can, not worried about 7-on-7, because it's real football that counts if you're looking for a real football scholarship.
Yeah.
That's just icing on the cake. It's not, it shouldn't be the main focus.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. I mean, like everything else that's out there.
Yeah, that's why when people call me and ask about it, I'm like, well, you know, I mean, I'm getting more and more away from that as it is. I mean, yeah, we do it and it's cool. It's a good one of many tools we like to use here with our guys to sharpen them up. But if you're not improving yourself besides that, then it's not really doing you any good.
Yeah.
You know, if you're meaning if you're still undersized and slow and your body fat is too high of a percentage and you're not physically where you need to be, then it doesn't matter if you play. It doesn't even matter if you ball out when you play.
Yeah.
It's not getting you anywhere.
Well, since you mentioned, kind of like you started talking about recruiting there, being involved with student athletes for the last 18 years, you've been exposed in the whole recruiting arena, recruiting
Absolutely,
process.
been around it a lot.
How was it, let's say 10 years ago versus now? How has it changed?
Man, how has it changed? Well, just like in any other thing in life, there's always going to be trends, things that kind of come and go.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about one. Sevens is really big right now.
And we're just talking about football specifically right now.
Let me think about this for a minute. Okay, football. One thing that's changed a lot is, there's a lot of hype now. I mean, there's a lot of different medias.
What are you talking
out
about,
there.
Coach?
Yeah, you're one of them. There's a lot more hype around it now. I mean, everyone can be their own self-proclaimed superstar. So, you hear about more guys, not only the superstars, but anyone could have, a film out there that makes you look amazing. But I guess what I want to talk about is what hasn't changed. There's all this hype and all this hoopla, a lot of smoke and mirrors and whatnot. And everyone who seems to wear a flashy uniform from the youth level on up, it claims to be a superstar. But bottom line is, whether I'm a coach from Alabama or San Jose State or Cal Poly or wherever, I'm still looking for the true best guys out there. I'm gonna sift through all that junk and find the true best guys. They're not gonna fall for just hype.
Mm-hmm.
And you still got to be legit, and you got to have your fundamentals down, and you still got to be, the biggest, fastest, strongest guy out there. That's what they're looking for. I mean, there's no way around that. So, I guess regardless of all the hype of how much it's grown over the years, football's still football.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I know, like, for us, we help out with the hype.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're actually careful, especially now. I mean, compared to last year, I think right now it's like we're really careful about who we're promoting. Not to say that we only want to promote the top guys, but we actually do look into kids now. We call coaches. Yeah. We try to get in touch with their parents. We just recently had this AllStar Draft, right?
Yeah.
It's a fun thing that we did. We did it for 4 years now, and we don't write descriptions. We don't include stats or anything, because I think if you look at the list, you have their information. You can look them up yourself. First of all, that's a lot of work, and drafting the guys was already, we did our homework.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that we contacted a lot of those coaches, or their coaches, and we asked them, like, hey, which one of your guys, we're looking for a defensive player. We try to act like a coach, a college coach, and ask the coaches, like, hey, we're looking for a defensive back. Tell us about your guys, and that's how we kind of came up with those names. But there are, over the years of doing what we're doing, we've seen kids, we've covered kids who do really well on the field, score touchdowns, and then at the end of their senior season, it's like they have nothing. It's not that they have nothing.
No,
they don't have.
I hear what you're saying. The
offers, quote unquote offers that they think they should be having.
My opinion on this,
And this is the good stuff right here.
If someone thinks I'm
wrong,
wrong,
we've talked about this.
If someone thinks I'm wrong, hey, it's fine. Everyone's gonna have their own opinion. But first of all, let me say, hey, I love what you guys do. It's awesome, man. You guys are shining a light on this area and helping this area out, the athletes in there. So that's all great. I'm all down for that. I mean, that's why I do what I do. So, but how do I word this, man? I'm not trying to offend anybody, but sometimes a real good high school player, a real successful high school player, and a next level prospect is two different things, man. It really is, because colleges out there, they're not recruiting stats, they're recruiting abilities, and body types. And athletic abilities and types of athletes, I guess you could say. So, for instance, let's just say, because I've seen this. I've seen a kid rush for damn near 2,800, damn near 3,000 yards in a season, and have no offers and wonder why.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I tore it up. I said, well, you still look, you know, you didn't put in the work in the off season to improve your measurables, not just getting good condition or just getting shape.
What
but
do you
to
mean
make
by
yourself,
measurables?
You know, like your 40, your bench press and whatnot. I mean, when you
Okay.
showed up at the combine you went to, or the Nike Spark testing thing, you didn't have a good day. I'm not gonna say you had a horrible day, but you know, you're slow. You know, you're a great high school player. You're a great little high school player, but the next level, like we just said, the competition just goes up, and it's not about stats. I mean, you might, you know, the school that you like might look at you and be like, oh, this other kid we like is way better. He's what we're looking for. He might have had half the yards you have. Well, there's too many variables that control. Maybe he played in a different kind of offense. Maybe, you know, it was a totally different situation. So you got to make, stats don't make you a D1 player, is what I'm saying.
Ah, yes. That makes sense.
Yeah. You might still be too small for the next level. You might not be built the right way.
Oh, we see that
know,
all the time.
You know, you should have put more time in the weight room. You should have been working on that for you. Something to make yourself more attractive, to put yourself ahead of the big picture, because these kids sometimes don't realize that being the best at your, well, depending on what school you're at, or being the best at your school, or even the best in your league, that's not good enough. If I'm Joe Blow coach from, you know, whatever university out there, and you're a running back or a lineman, I'm not only looking at you compared to the guys in your school, I'm looking at you compared to the top guys in your entire state, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you're on a huge list of
sense.
talented guys when we start the process, and you know, I think sometimes guys don't realize what the competition out there is really like, you know, and how few are going to make it. So yeah, you got to put in that serious work. Like, I'll tell you a guy that I had who was, I mean, the epitome of working hard and like, you know, a pro sport success story. Shane Smith.
Yes.
Los Gatos High School, a little bit after Kiko. You know, he didn't have necessarily the fanfare and the attention and the exposure and stuff that Kiko had. You know, he kind of came around and people weren't looking at him and throwing offers at him left and right.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that kid worked his butt off. And every time we went to somewhere, whether it was Vegas or a combine or a camp or whatever, he would, you know, really pay attention. It was literally a business trip to him. He wasn't out there screwing around. And he would see who the top guys are, and he would say, you know what, man, I know I got to get stronger. I got to get bigger. I got to get faster. And that guy constantly worked at it, and basically would refuse refuse to not let them in, to not give them you know, if he got if that door was cracked, he was going to burst it open, and he willed his way through hard work, and now, you know, he's the kid's in the league.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's going to be there to stay.
That is a great success story.
Yeah.
So just
But
for everybody
that
who doesn't
dude
know,
worked so hard. It didn't come just from him sitting on his butt or just doing one little thing and thinking, oh, okay, I'm pretty good at Los Gatos, that's going to get me somewhere, man. That kid worked his ass off, and he deserves everything that he's got coming to him and all the success he's had, because he worked for it.
Yeah,
as talented as he is, he worked for it.
I remember he posted something on social media where he talked about he was never the MVP of anything, never recognized as the player of the week or anything like that. He just worked hard, and you know.
Now that being said, he was a beast in high school. To the average kid looking at him, you'd say, "Oh man, that's a slam dunk." You know, that's a Pac-12 player. But that just goes to show you how hard it really is.
Yeah.
As amazing as he was,
I don't know how they missed
he
that.
still didn't, you know, have what, you know, people might think he did. He still had to work harder for it, because that just shows you at that high level how high the competition level really is.
Now, is there? Let's see. How do I talk about some of the misconceptions you want to address as far as student athlete training and preparation? You kind of touched up on it already, but what one of the things that I've seen like every single year since I started covering high school sports is I see, you know, sophomores, juniors ball out, have a really good season, and then after their senior year of football season, I don't see them for 2-3 months, and then I come back and I see them, you know, maybe like around June, and they look really, really big. Like, wait a second, why didn't you do that when you were a junior? So that your senior year, you're like, you're faster, stronger, and bigger.
Man, misconceptions. Oof, there's so many of them. One, here, let me think here. We don't want to start on this. Well, one is that, say you're a freshman or even a sophomore that you're too young to start and that you still have a lot of time. Man, you can't look at it that way. Every year, every month, every day is important. And if you wait too long to start, working in, quote unquote, training and getting ready to be scouted and be looked at, you're already going to be behind. I mean, most of the time, more often than not, you'll see the guys that say they made it. If you look back at them later, I mean, these guys knew from middle school on that they wanted to make it. And they were even in one way or another working hard back then. Again, it's not easy. I'm not here to tell anybody that it's easy. Even with hard work, hell, even with hard work, I'm not guaranteeing you anything. All I'm guaranteeing you with me is if you come with us and you work your ass off and do everything we tell you to do, you're going to be better when you left than when you got here. That is a guarantee. Yeah. Am I guaranteeing you're going to go to freaking Alabama or even a San Jose State or wherever? Absolutely not. Because anyone, whether it be a trainer or a recruiting service or anyone else who tells you that, is basically lying to you. Because the only person that controls who gets a ride to whatever school out there is the coach of that school. I don't care if I'm buddies with everyone at Alabama. If I tell you, oh yeah, come with me, I'll get you a ride to Alabama. That's sorry, man, that's bullshit. Only Nick Saban and his staff control who gets a ride to Alabama, and so on at every school.
Yeah.
So I mean, I even if I have a good relationship, like say I can get you to an elite camp that they're putting on that's invitation only and a small amount of guys, you still have to ball when you get there. You still have to be better than the other guys when you get there. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting you to a job interview or getting you to an audition. We're preparing you for it, but one, you have to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
Just getting there isn't going to do anything for you if you're not ready. We're trying to get you prepared for it and get you ready for it, get you ready and prepared. But you got to put in the work, and when you get there, you still got to be better than the other guys that are there.
Basically, you have to perform.
Yeah, you have to perform, and sometimes we can't control that because if I work my butt off and I show up and I run a 4.5 pretty good, but some guy from somewhere else in the country shows up and runs a 4.3, hey, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah,
he's just better, more talented. Maybe worked a little harder. I don't know, but
or just have that natural gift.
Yeah, has that. He's blessed. He's blessed. And we can't control other people's blessings, I guess you could say.
Well, I mean that's something that I know a lot of athletes and their parents would love to hear, or not want to hear, is that
sometimes people don't want to hear that.
It's the reality check.
It is. That's why so few make it.
That's why so few make it. And as far as is there a right way to train? If you're
I think some people also got to be realistic about that. Every kid who doesn't want to, football player kids want to be in the NFL, but is it going to happen? Absolutely not. They're not even all going to play D1 ball. Sometimes people got to, I'm not saying, okay, well then, if I'm not going to make it anymore, stop working hard, but maybe the goal should be a little different because there's other options there. Just because you can't play top, SEC football doesn't mean that there's not somewhere that you can play and that you can go get an education and continue playing for another few years and set yourself up well for the rest of your life. And like I said in the beginning, I mean, ultimately that's what it's all about. Because anything beyond that, getting paid to play this sport, man, that's a 1 in a million, man.
Yeah.
That's almost like winning the lotto right there.
When
so many things have to go right for that, aside from just your talent.
I mean, some of it is luck too, I think. Right?
There is because
But then again, luck is
in the ultimate team sport. Yeah, because sometimes there's things that we can't predict ahead of time how they're going to go, and a lot of it is, making that right choice. That in hindsight, look back, oh, we made the right one. But sometimes guys pick the wrong school that we didn't know at the time you picked it. It was it was the right school, but at the time we didn't know that because even college football scene over the course of 3 or 4 years can change so much. You know?
And it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
I think. So, as far as like recruiting, have you ever? How involved are you with with your guys?
You know,
Right now, currently, and in the past. I mean, have you been involved?
I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, like I'm some, street manager or anything like that. No. And I definitely don't want to, piss any of their high school coaches off, because I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to step on anybody's toes. But I will help anybody that I can. And yeah, I mean, I've been in this so long. Yeah, I know people. No one can stop me from knowing people. I can't like you. I can't stop you from knowing people.
Yeah.
Whether it be people I like or people that don't like do or don't like me. We all can't in life stop people from knowing each other. But guess what? I've been doing this so long. Yeah, I do know a lot of coaches. I know a lot of coaches that are friends that are in the game, whether it be college, D1, D2, D3, junior college, high school, whatever. I do know a lot of people. I've been doing this a long time. I have a lot of contacts. And yeah, if I have someone who's legit, I'm going to let them know. And I don't see anything wrong with that. And as far as guidance, well, I think now, going back to what you said about how it's changed, going back to that question, how there's so much hype out there, I think there's a lot of stuff out there that, and I'm not going to say it's all good, and sometimes parents and these athletes don't know, what should I do and what shouldn't I? Because you can't possibly go to every single thing out there. And, I mean, sometimes I just give my opinion, my 2 cents of like, hey, I've been through this before with this guy or these other 50 guys or whatever. And maybe let's focus on this and not worry so much about that and whatnot. Yeah. So, because there's so much stuff out there. If people try to do everything and listen to everything, they'd just be confused. They'd be hearing one person say do this, another one person say do that, and before you know it, you got a kid mind going in 10 different directions.
And you've seen that, and I've
seen that, and I've seen that many times. And I've seen it where one week they want to do this, and the next week they want to do that, and it's like, geez, man, stick with something.
Yeah. Well, I know one of the conversations that we usually have is, a student athlete who not really can't make up their mind, but I mean, I remember we talked about situations where I told you so, like, you should have done this, should have done that. Talk a little bit about that and
man, you're gonna get me in trouble, Al. Man.
Well, no, I think it will help people. That's the thing, because it happens every year. I mean, I get calls from parents.
Okay. I'll give you an example, and I'm not going to say any names. This is no one recent. This is no one recent, but this is someone about 5 years ago. Okay. And again, there's different.
I didn't know you then.
Yeah, you didn't know me then. You didn't know me then. So they're just like just like everything else in life. Hey, like Floyd Mayweather says, man. Hey, there's levels to this shit. Okay, well, there's levels to this shit too. You can bleep that out.
I can't.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Even with like recruiting and with players, there's levels. Not everyone's on the same level, Yeah, there's going to be that guy who's going to be 6'6" and 300, and like we said, going back to those blessed guys that they just have offers pouring in, and they can do whatever, and heck, I mean, they got it made. They're going to go wherever they want regardless. But guess what? That's less than 1%, And then there's guys that have no chance, and then there's somewhere in between what we call the borderline guys. Like, you're close if you do this, if you do that. You got to get this up, you got to improve this here a little bit there, you kind of got to improve this over here. And then if you compare yourself to the B-level guys, then you'll kind of be there, and you'll probably be in position to get yourself somewhere. Okay? So we sit down with them, and we're like, man, you need to put yourself on a plan. You need to be dedicated, because this isn't going to be easy. And you got to work harder. You got to do this, and you got to, maybe improve your speed, get this up, just all the same things we're talking about and what we always do all spring long to get yourself ready. And then a kid will think about it, and they'll come back to me, and they'll be like, oh, coach, I was thinking about it, and, I want to, or my school wants to, or whoever wants to. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I'm just going to train on my own, and I think I'm going to play lacrosse or rugby or something this spring, or whatever it may be, instead, and just kind of do that to get in shape. All right, hey, let's go for it. I mean, I'm not gonna, once you tell me you can do something else, I'm not gonna keep talking to you and begging to you and say over and over you should have done this. We told you our opinion, gave you mine, and that's it. You go with it or you don't. Okay, so say the off season goes by. Maybe they go to a sometimes those people don't come back, but they go through an off season of not doing what we said, or what we thought they should have worked on, and their measurables, and just the things they could have improved on that we thought they don't. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Season comes, they have a good season, and just like you said, next year comes around, but they don't have anything. They're good. Heck, they may be even really good. But again, did you build yourself into a prospect? Because it just goes back to the same thing we said earlier.
Ooh.
Being a good player and being a prospect is two different things. Did you get your name out there? Did you? Because getting to that next level and playing high school, it's almost like two different things. It's like a whole other game outside of the game. And
I like that quote. Did you build yourself?
Did you build yourself into a prospect? I mean, again, we told you went and tested yourself against other good players, like legit players going somewhere, and at your position. They're running 4.6 and 4.7s, like say a linebacker, and you went out there unprepared, and you ran a damn 5.2. Well, guess what, man? You just got taken off the list, dude.
Yeah.
That's why you're not going anywhere. Because in the big scheme of things, there is guys, better athletes, or guys putting in that work, and you didn't, whether it be through hard work or through natural gifts, you didn't put in the work to close those gaps between you and those guys. To get yourself on par with those guys.
Wow. Oh,
and now it's too late, because I go tell everybody, you know what?
Too late, yeah.
Man, look, choose wisely what you're going to do through this high school career.
You can't turn back the clock.
Because you only get one shot at this, man.
You can't turn back the clock, right?
Choose wisely. You can't get to senior year and be unsatisfied and say, oh, man, you know what, I'm going to start this all over again. And then, I'm going to go back with it, or whoever else. I'm not saying, we're the end-all, be-all of what you should do, but whatever it was that you should have done better, whatever it was, whether it was us or anyone else, you can't go back and do it again.
Yeah. So once again,
maybe you were partying too much and not focused. Well, you can't go back and take that back either.
That is true.
Anything you did wrong aside from what you should have been doing, you can't go back and change it.
That is true. Real quick again, talk about the process of getting involved with pro sport. Just I know we talked about it in the beginning. So what does one have to do to?
Yeah, I mean, just contact us. You can reach out to us via, text, phone call, 408-691-1223, email, whatever. But usually we have we come in, obviously someone shows interest, we sit down, we talk about what we do, and then, as far as the athlete, what their goals are, and goals and aspirations are.
Those are important.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to see, what are you trying to do? What's your goal? What are you trying to do? Because, if you don't even know what you're trying to do, then why are you doing it? You gotta have a goal, and then we try to put a plan together and let you know what we do, and see if, one, if we can help you, and two, if what we do is something that's gonna fit into your plan, into your life, and it's gonna be able to fit. If it's gonna be a fit for you, if you're gonna even be able to do it, if this works for you. And if it does, then we go forward, and because once we're in, like we were saying, this is a family, we are 100% committed to you. And we expect that back, because
that airplane is really loud.
It's like anything you do in life, man. If you're not committed to it, and if you don't believe in it, if you don't believe in what you're even doing, then why are you doing it? Because it's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's true. If anything you do in life, I don't even care, your marriage, your job, if you already got one foot out the door, like, oh, this sucks or whatever, then it's not going to work for you.
So this is not for everybody.
No, I mean, probably not. But it's definitely not for people who don't want to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing I'll tell people, that there is, okay, look, we're gonna come up with a plan, but hey, it's not a magic plan. It's not. I don't have the cheat code that to the universe back here that's just gonna put you at the forefront of everything. There's no magic pill, no magic plan. It's still gonna come down to hard work in order to get you there. It's just going to be like, well, what plan of hard work is it going to be for you, and are you going to be dedicated to it? Because if you're not dedicated to it, man, it's not going to work. You're not going anywhere.
It's not going to work, yeah.
And then you're going to be, again, like those guys that they find out too late. They just didn't do enough.
Yep.
And it happens all the time.
It happens all the time. Well, Coach, this has been a very informative session. You guys can follow Pro Sport Training at Pro Sport Coach AJ. That's the Twitter. Instagram is prosport_training. Phone number is 408-691-1223. If you want to get bigger, faster, stronger in the off season, now's the time to do it, right, Coach?
Yeah, and it's more than just the bigger, fast, stronger. It's, you know, we're helping raise young men. It's making you mentally sharper. Again, everyone here has been at the next level and getting you mentally, physically, and mentally prepared to go beyond high school. It's not just, you know, high school sport. It's to go beyond. That's the kind of guys we get here, and you know, ultimately, regardless of anyone who says different, anything bad about us, honestly, they don't know us, because we care, and we care a lot. We care about young athletes, and we want to see these guys succeed, man. Ultimately, in life.
In life. That's awesome.
Like I said,
Coach.
lifelong relationships we have here.
Anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
Nothing I could think of, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure we'll do this again.
Anyone else out there, you know, interested, and you just got questions, I mean, hit us up. We're not, you know, some stuck-up guys here that think we're too good to talk to people, man. Hey, if you just got questions about whatever, hit us up anytime. We're here to help.
And this is for all student athletes, not just football players, not just male athletes. This is, I know you have girls, student athletes in your gym as well. So
hey, and if you hit me up and you have something that maybe I can't quite help you with, maybe I can. But guess what? I probably know someone who can.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we know a lot of people, man. We're doing this a long time, man. This is a lifestyle, and I'm not changing it anytime soon. I'm doing this till I die.
Well, 17 years and count. No, 18 years.
18, going on 18 now.
18 years, that's a lot of history right there. And if you guys really are serious in getting better, check out Pro Sport.
Only getting better.
And you guys have all the information you need right on this video. And once again, thank you, Coach, for making the time. We'll do this again.
Cool. Great talking to you.